Good to be here with you guys. We're looking today at half guard. Actually, the way I pass half guard on top, we'll do top and bottom, a few options, a few different parts of my game. It's usually is different than most people. I will never say better, but it's different, and because it's different, it can work pretty well. In my experience, because of my leg lock ability, or let's say the threat of me attacking the legs, people rarely put me in a very tight half guard because they're locked into my hips, and it's pretty much going to be a submission with my hand raised. So that threat right there makes people a little looser with their half guard, which makes it actually easier to pass the half guard. So we'll look at a few options today. One thing about the half guard that I've realized, of the main positions, mount, cross side, half guard, of course, north, south, whatever, any of these situations, it is the most advanced. One movement from half guard, the bottom man or girl can get the back. One movement from the top can be the back. One move can be the mount. One move is a sweep. One move is an arm lock. One move is a leg lock. One movement is anything you can imagine. It could be a stand-up. One movement away from every other position, basically. So in that way, it can be the most confusing. I suggest when people are learning half guard that they stick to their favorite side, which seems, why would I say that? You have a hole in your game. If you try to become the jack of all trades too soon and try to be a perfect, here and there, it usually takes away from your ability to learn and have a cohesive style. So eventually you want to have both sides down, but half guard is so open and so diverse, you want to, in my opinion, pick your favorite side and get that down first. Bottom half guard, sweeps, I have leg locks, I have ways to go to my opponent's back. It's one of my favorite positions. I did mention earlier that the half guard, in my opinion, is the most complicated of all the basic positions because you're one movement away from any other position, practically. When I was, a blue belt, it was an old injury from high school football. I tore my knee at extra, and I needed a full ACL reconstruction. So I actually came back too soon. I shouldn't have done it. It was foolish, but I came back within 4 months or 3 months training. But I would only train. I could not be on my knees. I couldn't be on my feet, pivoting on my legs. No one could grab my leg, so I had to develop only my half guard on one side, which I did. My half guard was my worst position, and it became, after 6 months of doing just half guard, it became one of my best positions. Okay? So I might have a different approach on half guard, a few different things here and there. Of course, sweeps is a few submissions, and there's ways to the back of the opponent from half guard. So let's look at this. Deep half guard, I don't really use. It's just because in my fighting background, it was a problem just getting damaged from punches. Maybe I could go for one attack, but I don't stay at deep half guard, okay? So yeah, I might sweep someone from half, but I won't stay. I'm always in this shallow half guard, right here, okay? And some they'll do this, some do this, okay? I just keep my foot up like this, simple. This is how I am half guard, okay? Now I realize my opponent didn't have, I know he's making space so we can talk. I mean, I will disengage, and I will go for a takedown, a reverse, let's say a sweep or something, okay? I will attack my opponent, okay? Right here. So put pressure on me. So my knees up like this. This is just looking, okay? So let's turn facing that. Look here. Okay? So my knees should be through barely. If that happens, I don't feel as mobile. I want to be right there, okay? Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about jiu-jitsu should work for a fight, okay? This right here, if it was a fight, if he wants to throw a punch at me, it's really hard to get through this barrier. It's very hard. Throw a punch. Yeah, the only chance he has is to go right through here, and even then, if it misses me or glances me, I'll get to his back. And it's happened many times in my fights. Okay, if he goes wide, go wide. This is a pretty solid way. Go over the top. It's not realistic. Okay, so this is actually now. What about that arm? I know. And if someone, I'll wait for them to wind up that punch, and I will sit up. So this is a very functional half guard. Half guard is thought of by many UFC fighters as one of the most dangerous places to be. It is true, because you're anchored in, right? And the person can damage you from this situation, okay? With that said, I'm on my side, and I'm here. That's my general thing, okay? So with that said, I have a whole series I call a shove by, okay? So, give me yours. So the thing is, an arm drag, most of us know this, is cross and through to the tricep. Okay? This would be considered wrong. who say this is wrong, like you're making a mistake. And that's true. If you're doing an arm drag, this is not correct. But there's a move I call a shove by, which it is correct. Okay? It's not that effective from the feet. You have to be very close to your opponent. Okay? So you can do an arm drag from the bottom, from the top, and from the feet. It's a very, very explosive, a very dynamic move. It's a very good move. Arm drags are great. And people know about them. The shove by is a little more slight. See here, you turn, I'm not going hard, but once your elbow comes out, it's almost like a kimura, right? Almost like a kimura, okay? Once again, people will consider this a wrong move. If you try this, they will say you're making a mistake. You're not, as long as you're within very close proximity and you're doing a shove by. It's considered a wrong arm drag, but it's a different move, okay? You know, if you were to say this is a wrong jab, well, it's a different type of punch, it's a hook, okay? Is it wrong? It's a different type of punch, okay? If I was trying to do a jab, yes, it was wrong, okay? It's a different punch, okay? It works in its own way, same as a shove by. If someone says this is wrong, as long as they think you're doing an arm drag, that might be a good idea. Maybe you keep it a secret and don't ever show them, okay? But it does work. I pulled this off on world champions, and I won't say names because it's not cool to talk about what happens on the mat with your bros, okay? I've gotten world champions with this over and over. It definitely works. And it's a very not risk-free, very low risk move to try, okay? You can do this from many situations, but half guard is my favorite to do this. So I'm here, okay? So simple. If I grab, whatever, I grab, and it's, look, I already have it. Look, it's simple. I went around, I shoved this arm around, it was shoved by, okay? It's the opposite of an arm drag, but has the same general function. This is something that, even if you don't get, you're not taking a big chance, and if he passes your guard, it's not because of this move, it's because you were thinking about something else, or he got you distracted, okay? So look, it could be, look, simple, got two. Look, I can use my knee for a second. Oh, if I don't, I'll get here, okay? I can get here, or here, it doesn't matter, okay? It push back, push back. He can't do much. See, this is push back, push back. He can't. It's a very powerful angle for me. It's very efficient for me to try my opponent. And this also works without gi. Works better with gi though, because you can grab the sleeve, okay? Listen, you can also, we'll go over these separate. I can also get guys going this way with the shove by. It works, okay? Arm drag, great, conventional, classic. I like arm drags. I've won some big matches of arm drags. They do work, I love them. The shove by is a different move. It is not a wrong arm drag. It looks like it, but it's not. One last time I will say, the only time this would work on the feet is if we were against a wall or a cage. Then it can work. It can, just to get around their arms. Other than that, watch, standing. It's very hard to do this standing too far away, okay? But when we're on the ground, very close. I mean, it works pretty well. Now watch this. If he hides his elbow from me on this side, I mean, I can go this. I can still find this. I changed my grip, but I still have him. Okay. Look, even though he didn't move, I moved around him. Okay. The shove by series is very, very effective. Okay. I can attack both arms, but I usually attack the arm that would be, how do you say, the arm that's closest to my legs, okay? It's usually gonna be this arm, okay? Usually this arm. So let's say we're training. The thing is, I could, but see, the thing is, it's actually hard to stop this. It's actually hard to stop this, okay? So if he grabs, if you get to it, now we're open guard. Look, I take this off as a potential move, okay? So think about it. I have probably, I'm not even exaggerating, 20 or 30 finishes to this. That's not really, I mean, I'll show you. I'll just show like 2 or 3. If I get around here, favorite is just to go around them, okay? I get here. There's ways to get inside and get almost like a modified kimura or a reverse kimura, okay? There's ways to do that kind of stuff, okay? But usually, when I get here, it's just as simple. I just get up and go around. There's many more fancy things we could do, but that probably is the best approach right there. And the best part about this, one more time, is it's not a particularly risky thing to try, and it's not like you're using much energy, you're reaching. And because people think it's a wrong arm drag, they won't usually react to it until it's too late. Talk about fundamentals. Arm position is perhaps, in my opinion, probably the most important thing. Maybe the most important thing in grappling. Why is that? Well, your arms stick out, they get caught in everything. You have two of them. If you look at your silhouette, if you put your legs together, kind of a linear, it's corny as it may sound, like a snake or a fish, how they move. Well, they don't have arms because it's moved efficiently through water or through the bushes, whatever, okay? A snake, if you move it like a snake, I mean, on the mat, that's awesome. It's funny, if you say, in Portuguese, they'll say, that guy moves like a fish, it's a compliment. But if you say it to a wrestler, that's an insult. That means you're flopping on the mat like a fish, okay? So, just so you know, PC on different venues, right? Jiu-jitsu versus wrestling. Basically, the more you can hide your arms, the better. Your arms will always get caught on something, but the less they get caught on things, the better you will move. So if you have great hip movement, but you have bad arm position, it doesn't really matter. You'll just keep moving, you won't go anywhere. You will have motion, but no progress. Let's say you have decent hip movement, but you have great arm position, you will beat the person who has the great hip movement with no arm positioning because your arms will be caught less. You will move way better. Half guard is, the exception to this rule is when you have your legs around your opponent. So full guard, there's a few exceptions. I don't want my arm behind my back, but I don't have to be so worried about my arms so much. If I'm mounted on my opponent, I don't have to worry too much about my arms, sometimes, okay? By the way, the exception being get mounted on me. I've done this to people before. I'll get the arm here. You know, that's weird, but I'll do that to people, but it's not usually his main concern, is my point. I gotta worry about my arms from this situation, okay? My arms have to be hidden or arranged in the right way to escape. So arm position is very important. In general, almost always it means your elbows are in as opposed to out, okay? So that is the general idea. Now, if you look from this angle, my arms are out to your perspective, but to my opponent, they're not, okay? So you're always gonna be in an L shape. If your opponent can see an L, it's bad, it makes you lose. The L principle, it's not because my last name starts with L, it's because L makes you lose, okay? So right now my opponent cannot see the L, but now he can, now he can, now he can. These are all bad, I'm exaggerating, these are kind of absurd, no one would do that in a match. But if he catches me at this moment, he'd get me to Kimura or whatever. So your arm position is very, very important, okay? Now half guard, let's look at the two basic arm positions, overhooks and stuff, okay? I did mention way earlier today that if someone has my head, I'm on their head, okay? If I don't have their head at all, they can smash, put their shoulder and make my head turn, okay? So I want to actually have this. This is half guard, this is fine. That's if he has my head, okay? If he doesn't have my head, if he doesn't, I'm not reaching anymore, okay? If he reaches over, I'm gonna be in this armpit here, okay? Some people teach this, but it's still the same principle, okay? Depends on your coach. They're no one's wrong. And people say they can argue about this stuff and this is better. I know world champions that do both ways. I know, you know what, I trained in Croatia with the fighter Mirko Krokop. Probably a lot of you wouldn't know who he is. I was his coach for 7 years. I didn't live there for 7 years, but I've been back and forth for 7 years. He punches like this, like an American, because this is what they call in Europe, American style. And he's one of the few Europeans that do that. Most Europeans punch this way. But what's better? Well, I know champions of this, and Krokop's of course a champion, punch this way. What's better? You can argue all they want about it. Truth is, there are people of both styles that are world champions. So this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. These are all different, but I'm changing my arms according to where his position, where his weight is distributed on my body, okay? The way I do it is still, I'm hiding my arms. I have to reach. Don't confuse, please, me saying you can't reach. You have to reach in a match. I can't just be like this. There's certain times I will not reach, but I do not reach like this. That's the problem. Look, even if it was a boxing match, this is that's a sloppy punch. Your opponent will see your elbow move up. It's very inefficient, it's not that fast, not that powerful, okay? In combat sports, you want your elbow in and reach. In football, you don't tackle like this, you grab like this. I mean, if you dive, maybe, but that's not the technical. Wrestling, you don't reach like this, you reach like this. So in all the combat sports you'll see, barring a few exceptions, you want to have your elbows in, reaching or not. And one way to remember that is if your thumbs are up, my elbows are not out, okay? So you can just look at your thumbs. Even if my fist is closed, this is not, my elbow's not out, okay?
So he has me here. If he has my head, I'm on his head right there. And look, it's very powerful. I can get my knee back to the situation. If he goes over, I don't want my arm here now. See, now he has an L. See, if my arm's in the face now, it's 2 arms against 1. You go for the Americana. He can attack me now. See, he can get me. Okay. So if the arm is over I'm gonna hide it right here. I'm gonna hide it right here. Guess what? He's a wizard. Now he's a wizard. You know. So we have this crazy chess game. You know, rock paper scissors. I do this. He does this. There's always a way to defend something. Okay. When I'm in half guard, when I have someone in my half guard, I can become very fast to where I'm usually implementing my game on my opponent, but I can react to where if they turn their shoulders, if they grab my head, wherever they go, my arm, just through experience, will be in the right place. If it's not, I'll be in trouble. And that happens anyways, it's fine. That's the beauty of the sport. You're always gonna have a good day, a bad day. You're gonna be on one day and off another day, but over time, you get more consistent with your arm position, okay? I want to be on my side, not my back. If I am on my back, it's to do a move. It's to sweep. I don't stay on my back for half guard, personally, okay? I want to have the underhook if I can, or across the face if I can. My elbows are not out, they're here, okay? And very important for me, myself, let's turn this up. This hip, or this elbow, right? Now watch this. You could say I'm making an L right here. You could say that. Okay, but I'm too close. Push, Martin, push. I'm on the ground. It's not the same. He can't push it. I'm not gonna let him just do that, by the way. Okay, because I'm so close to the ground, I can now do this. Okay, I'm not like that. Okay, come on. I'm on my side. It's not so big of a deal. I'm not laying it there, but I'm saying because he can't push it around my back, he can't lock a kimura. It's very difficult to attack. It's not a big deal. So there's always an exception to the rule. Okay, this elbow is always. I cannot let him violate the space. Get your knee inside. I cannot let it happen. That's very important, okay? So attack, train. Okay? I cannot let that happen, okay? I cannot let that happen, okay? If he's not putting pressure on me, I can now scoot away or something. Or I can sit up and attack him, okay? If let's say he's putting pressure, but his posture is very good, okay? So get high weight, like you were. No, high you were. I mean, I can sit up and grab to a double or a single leg, okay? All kinds of ways to attack, but you have to have the anchor arm on the ground, and don't let anything in this space in your armpit to your ribs. The top hand has to be on the face or the armpit, okay? And we're on our side, and that's our building blocks for the half guard. We'll get a little more in depth here, okay? The half guard, where we're connected to our opponent by one leg, and I mentioned about being on my side with arm position. It's a lot of stuff to get down. I completely understand it, okay? Whoa, his weight's on me. He has a whizzer, he doesn't. I go hook shot, I have a shove bite, I have an arm. It's crazy. There's a lot of things we can do. But we find, and I've probably not half, but almost half of my sweeps from half guard are when someone's trying to get posture, get away from me, or maybe trying to stand up in a fight, okay? So I've had guys, when they get in the way, maybe because I have great arm position, they want to get away from me, they want to take their weight off me. I have great finishes, and it's almost like a takedown now. It counts as a sweep, but like a takedown. So when I'm here, let's say someone actually feels like and they try to get away from me, and I let them do that, that's a problem. He's at a 4, I'm at a 1. Why would I let that happen? This is a problem. I can't let that happen, okay? So go back down again. So now he gets away from me, go. I can get up. I have to get up. In that moment, they make that space, they can't reverse it unless they knew I was sitting up. If an opponent knows what you're gonna do before you do it, that's a problem. That's why you want to be unpredictable if you can. In any combat sport, it's a problem. If your opponent knows what you're going to do, and they can time you, they can use that against you. But it's very hard. I usually wouldn't know he's going to get away from me, and I can use it against him. So as simple as it is, I never said it's easy, but it's simple. If someone's putting pressure on me, I can turn them over or get to their back because they're putting pressure on me. That pressure can be used to turn them, or can be used as they go down, I go around them, okay? But when someone's pulling away from me, it's hard to go around them because they're pulling away from me. It's hard to sweep them because they're pulling away from me. Because they're pulling away from me, I actually go that direction and I fill that gap with my head. My head has to be in the ribs for this. Very important, okay? So here, and he gets away, go. It's right, my head's in the chest and I get up. And it's such an easy takedown. Probably in competition, I've done this maybe like 70 times in competition. I've done this against people who weren't letting me. So it definitely works. It even works from here because people know it's stand up, stand up. People don't expect this just to do that. No one expects that. I'm not putting my head to the outside for a guillotine or a collar choke. It's right, hitting right in the chest. So just get on your knees. It's just simply, for most of it seems just relaxed. This where people go, and they go like this. One, this is a drill. And jiu-jitsu everyone does, especially in Brazil, like, dois, três, they get up as a warm-up drill, okay? I use it, but I'm not actually going high. I'm just short like this, okay? All I'm doing is this. I can use my hand on the ground, it's okay, okay? So if he's just facing right there, right, just watch. Hit him with your head. Of course, finish with the arms, but it's just boom, going over it. And no one expects it. It's just so ridiculously simple. And there's no, I'm not doing this to telegraph. It's, you know, first of all, I might reach here and just go, and no one expects that, okay? So when someone's not committed, I'll just do it because they won't expect it. It's just ridiculous. It's so damn simple. They don't realize how close I really am. So from the camera's point of view, you see me from here, it's just this. It's just close. I'm just moving about 2 feet, and I'll get you. I'll grab the guy, okay? And I'm not reaching with my arms like this. I'm grabbing, okay? So if I'm down here and you're getting away, I just get up. It's that simple. And with my head on the chest, you fall right down. So now we have ways to pass standing, ways to pass on the knees. Oh my goodness. Hips down, hips up. Oh my goodness. Okay, he has a whizzer. No, he has my head. No, he has, oh my arm. Oh my God. Oh, I'm on my side, I'm on my back. Oh, damn. Oh no, he's putting pressure on me. I go to the back, or I can sweep him. Okay, or he gets away from me. I can sit up and grab the legs like I did right now. It's a lot of stuff. If you learn a language, a separate language, it's also confusing. It's like, you know, most languages don't follow the English principles. They have their own rules. It's confusing. How do you learn that? Well, you have to start in some area, get that down first. Start in some area, get that down first. You know, it might be jiu-jitsu. You want to learn Portuguese? Learn everything. Chave de pé, chave de braço. You know, arm lock, foot lock. Okay. Queda is takedown. Okay. Chão is ground. Chão is ground. Okay. Count to 10. That means that if you were training jiu-jitsu for long enough, you could actually talk to a Brazilian about jiu-jitsu. That's it. You could branch off with some of the stuff you learned in jiu-jitsu about Portuguese later on and learn Portuguese later. Okay. So right now, half guard. It's confusing. Let's just stay with one thing. Just the hook shot. Just the hook shot and the sweep, just that to start with. Then you branch off and you get a more complex game, more full, and it's going to reflect more of your personal style in the half guard. And it's a little frustrating, but once you get the half guard down, it's like the bridge moment or the bridge move position between others, and it's going to help your whole game out. You'll see. One of the most common problems I've had, but now I have many ways around it. Now, the main question I get from half guard is when someone has a good whizzer and they're really bearing down on you, okay? And of course, this means I have an underhook on my opponent. Most of you already know this. Here, and I got here on my side, look at this, okay? Now you see what he's doing? Oh, if he sealed it off, I'm gonna fall, okay? By the way, he's gonna have to put his arm out at some point, okay? So the thing is right here, I have this will be in 2 parts, okay? See his arm right here, like that? Or locking out, see them? I mean, I'll make him fall either way, okay? I'm gonna hold the belt. I'm gonna hold under, I prefer to hold the ankle, okay? And I know he's thinking there's a few chokes, but I'm not staying here very long, okay? Now, the reason I don't reach behind the hamstring is because if he sits back on my hamstring, now you might be stuck, and now you can go for chokes and stuff. I prefer to have the ankle, okay? Now, when I scoot in, I take him right over, okay? It's a very good way to take someone over when they have a whizzer. Now, someone watching is thinking, well, hey, Lister, they can just take their hand out. I know that. I still have the ability to go to their back. My original move we call hook shot. Half guard, hook shot to go to the back. So let's look at this in this series. Let's say my opponent doesn't know much and his arms are on the ground, just like that, okay? Watch this. See? Hook shot, hook shot, hook shot. My head's on the armpit and it comes up to the back. Hook shot, very basic. But now let's say my opponent is like, he's gonna stop me with an overhook, a whizzer on this. See that? So now I can't go to his back. This is blocking me. So now I'm going to hold the ankle. I'm going to scoot under and take it right over. Now I gotta take my leg out if I can. If not, I'll be in the half guard. It's not such a big deal. Okay. Now we have a guy who's like, you know what? I'm going to block him with a whizzer. If he tries to sweep me, I'll put my hand on the ground. Well, now we're at situation one. If you think about it, we're actually now, I'm not saying the guy has no experience. Of course he does. If he knows enough to do this, he does. That's more of a problem with no gi. With gi, once it's hard to get your arm back in. With gi, it's harder. Okay? So you'll find guys who can do it. But if I'm one step ahead, if I'm 2% faster than them, 2%, let's say I had to jump on them. I'm just 2% mentally faster, meaning I'm just transitioning to the next movement faster than my opponent, and I'm on the bottom with his weight. I control his balance. I have a huge advantage over my opponent. Matter of fact, in a fight, that's how I've taken little damage I've taken damage on the feet more than the ground, because I'm always making someone feel off balance. Okay, I have taken damage on the ground. I'm not saying I haven't, of course. Okay, so now we have the person, their arms on the ground, we go to their back. If they're whizzering me, we sweep them. If they take their arm out now, I can go to their back. We get this game of who can put their arm in and out faster. You'd be surprised how effective you can be from this situation. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of patience that you can do. Okay. Now we have, he whizzes me. Okay. Now I can get up on my elbow to make this more powerful. Okay. So when I go, take your arm out if you can. No, right now, ready. So I can't go to his back, right? So just fight me, ready? Go. So he has very good base, very good base actually, right? To really go there, okay? But you can actually make someone where, now at some point they have to commit to something, because if they keep doing this forever, they're usually going to be on the losing cost. And if they can stop you, this usually means the person has great base, and they have, maybe they're strong, and they have some experience. And then it's going to be hard. But you know what that means? That means it's going to be a good training day for you, because you're going to learn more from someone who has good balance and good base. Okay, so the A and the B, the hook shot and the sweep. You might want to grab the hamstring. I prefer to grab the ankle. Some people want really high in the armpit. Some want to reach across the belt. These are personal preferences, okay? With gi, I grab the belt and the ankle, okay? Some people, it's a little different. Next one is something I came up with. I don't even know when, probably 12 years ago, I came up with this idea, this move. Actually, it was 8 years ago. I had two, I don't say students, let's say friends, training partners from Poland. Jan Blachowicz, he's in the UFC, he's top ranked in the light heavy division. And Thomas Derol, he was the middleweight upper ranked guy in the UFC, both from Poland. They're from Warsaw. I think Jan is Thomas is from Krakow, and Jan is from Warsaw, I believe. The first time they trained with me, I was doing this to them over and over and over. And they came back with a nice idea, and they had a way to stop it. But I had to come up with a real quick way to counter their counter, okay? So now we have here, but now this person on top, put your fist on the ground and flex it. See that right there? I can't move him. I cannot move him, really. So put resistance, I cannot move him. So he anchored his weight into the ground. He's using the ground against me right now. So let's pause and look. See that's what he's doing. It's different. Watch this. Just stay right there. See? It's base. That's what someone's doing. That's a really badass effective wizard, okay? And they can pass your guard now too. This is a problem. We can't let this happen, okay? So I was in Russia about 4 years ago competing against, I'm not sure if he was an Olympic level wrestler. He seemed like it was a very strong guy. I fought in Moscow. We had a match. And he had me here. I got him here, no gi. And what he did, see? Now watch this. Remember last we talked about the shove by and the arm drag? This is the arm drag. Watch this. You actually have to make your arm limp and you grab at the same time. I have the tricep. Now pull your arm away, pull. He's stuck. He's stuck. He's stuck. Okay? I did this on TV. The match was televised in Moscow. And the guy was very tough, very strong, very humble, good guy, very tough guy. And this guy, because he was so strong, this guy was strong, damn Russian bear, big beard, looked like a bear, this guy, okay? I actually got under and did this to him. So put your arm strong, strong. It only works when they have their arm on the ground. This doesn't work if their arm's not on the ground, okay? So that's what I did. You see, my arm was in here, okay? And by the way, let's turn so that this is very, more. This is very important. Very important too. Some guys are so strong that they can actually hurt your arm here. So I am here, and I always have many here. Put pressure on me. See, it won't hurt me now. If you're like that, you're gonna make your arm very tired and maybe get hurt, okay? So always defend this way. Now, when I do the move, I take this arm through. I limp arm out, and I just Get up, run. Okay.
This is one of those moves that if you do 3 times in a row to someone, they might figure it out, you know? It's kind of obvious, but this is someone that's, I know my opponent, as strong as he is, he had me, he's like, there's no way I can move because it's such a powerful position for a powerful individual versus me. And I got around, I got to his back, I got mounted, okay? It was a tough match. The guy was very good. This is a way to deal with a strong person using a strong position. Shelby now back to an arm drag with the arm on the ground. If the arm's not on the ground, we use the off bounce every time. That's it. Here's a sucker move. I don't say a sucker. I've got some very noteworthy opponents. I beat them in matches. Even in 2015 in Brazil, I faced he was the Asian champion. So, I mean, the continent of Asia, Oceania, like, man, 1 billion people, more than, man, this kid was the champion of the area, and he fell for this, okay? And he's a big, strong guy, okay? What I do is this, he's a what I mean, I just keep this here, and I do this. Now, the thing is, I'll block their vision, see? And what does he want to do when I block his vision? What are you going to do? Okay, fine, but then I'll go here, okay? When I go here, usually what happens is, usually they want to grab my head, usually. Most people want to grab that. And what happens is I got an arm lock right there. It's surprising, it's very surprising. And once, if I put my hand there and they don't grab my head, I mean, I'll go back to my original game. This is a trick, okay? I'll block and I'll stick my head out and they'll reach and grab this. I did this also from 50-50. Give me your legs. Yeah. I've done this to many people. I'll do this with my head like that, and they'll reach and grab my head. And it's, by the way, it's a real arm lock. I really got you in trouble, okay? Now, next time I have to show, it'll take an hour to go over this arm lock itself. There's all kinds of little turns and twists and little angles, but he'll tell you it's a problem. Yeah, that's correct, that's how you turn your arm. But if you don't, you're in time. But see, it's not just push, this little twist, it's very powerful. And in the video, you can see the kid, I mean, probably 22-year-old guy, very strong. His arm bends backwards. It's a legitimate submission. Okay, so we also have reverse arm locks from bottom and from top. Okay, but primarily you'll see passes and sweeps from half guard. Primarily, a few submissions. You also see people going to the back. So the 3 main attacks from a guard, any guard, is submission, sweep, and get to the back. So with the half guard, you don't see that many submissions. You see a lot of back takes and you see a lot of sweeps. Okay, but there are submissions. Half guard from bottom now, okay? What I do is, I take this cross sleeve, I grab a cross. My left arm is gonna grab his left sleeve. I grab under, in this case, I do grab behind the hamstring, not the ankle, okay? This leg will go through, but this is very weak at this moment. He could easily annihilate my guard and pass, okay? To do it, sprawl, that's a problem, okay? So every move has its moment of weakness. This one, that's it. That's the moment of weakness for this move. I have to go through. Now I have to get up on my hips. Okay? See, now he wants to sprawl now, sprawl. It doesn't matter so much, okay? So now I have him in a knee lock. I take him right over. If you're fast with this, it's really hard for your opponent to sprawl. Grab the wrist or you grab the sleeve, take your leg through, and you're already up on your shoulder, inverted. It's very hard. If they sprawl, you steer them. If they don't sprawl, you take them over anyways, okay? I'll do it one more time. So, once again, here, I do grab here. And it's just here. You have to be that's key. If you go here, it's not gonna work that well. You're gonna get smashed, okay? Up, and I take them that way. I pull the arm, and I pull right over. You see, they end up right in the perfect knee lock, okay? One last thing to say about this position. 1 in 4 people will crumple. They won't roll. I don't know why. It could be a black belt or a white belt. Some people just crumple. I'll show you. It's going to be, here's a fall on your right shoulder. Just fall on your right shoulder, don't roll. You're going to find some people that just fall on your right shoulder, just fall. Just that's all they're going to do. Now, if the helix were allowed, it would be suicide. I'll get him very fast with the heel, okay? You can also just get the knee lock straight from here, okay? See? So the thing is, not everyone's going to roll. If they crumple on their shoulder, you take that same leg and you get knee lock, okay? One time, and we'll go to the next.
One, he's gonna roll, because some people, most people, 3 out of 4 people will roll. I don't know who it is, I can't determine. 1 in 4 people will crumple. They could be a world champion. I've seen people, I don't know why, that will crumple and the next person will roll, okay? So first one, usually they roll, I go up, they roll over, boom. That's usually what happens, okay? Knee lock. This next guy crumples. I go here, he falls on his shoulder, boom, see? Okay, I mean, what do I do? Just take the knee, cross your feet, and go here. And yes, there are heel hooks from the same situation. There's knee compressions from this roll, okay? But right now, we're looking at the knee lock from top and from bottom.